Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be doing dissecting the playoffs and who I think we'll get to. We're going to be talking about each team who has a chance to get playoffs. So that is so the top three, so Huddersfield, Fulham, Huddersfield and Bournemouth. We're not going to talk about because for me, no, we'll talk about Huddersfield. We'll talk about Huddersfield because I think Fulham and Bournemouth go up. Now we'll talk about Fulham to Blackpool in 14th. They're the teams that realistically could be getting playoffs. Blackpool is a bit of a stretch, but we'll still put them in it. But Stoke, I don't think they will. They're about 11 points off. I don't think they will. But yeah, should we get into it with the first team, which is Fulham? Fulham are one heck of a team. They are a brilliant team. In the Championship, they're brilliant. In the Premier League, they're bang average. That's the step of the Premier League. You can, you can go, the Championship you can dominate, play really well. But then as soon as you get to the Premier League, it's a little bit more. It's a massive league, the Premier League, and it's so much more difficult. In 34 matches, Fulham have got 73 points. That is unheard of. With 22 wins, 7 draws and 5 losses. With a goal difference of 55. They've scored 84 goals in 34 games. And the main man in that team who has been banging all the goals, and I'll say his name, Alexander Mitrovic. He is a bagsman in the Championship. Maybe not for the Prem, but in the Championship he is brilliant. 34 goals in 34 games. He's had some games off as well, so he scored pretty much more goals in games. You never get that. That's Lewandowski type stuff. That is. Fulham are one brilliant team. And Bournemouth have 2 games in hand on them. So they go 67, they go 6 points away from Fulham. But Fulham are winning the league. Or at least getting top 2. They are nowhere near getting playoffs. They will be way above playoffs. They've already got to the playoff round where you want to secure playoff points already. And they have 12 games left in the season for them. It's unheard of. Fulham are one brilliant team, and this year, could they get 100 points? They have 12 games, 12 times 3 is 36. Maths. They could get way over 100 points. So, they could get 303. They could get 106 points. 106 points. No, 109 actually. 109 points this season. That's brilliant. Moving on to second, and a team I never think would be second, Huddersfield Town. Do I think they'll be finishing second? No, I do not, because Bournemouth have 4 games in hand on them. But what Huddersfield have been absolutely sensational. This season, they've transformed into a team which are like an absolute magician. They're brilliant. Huddersfield. 17 wins, 11 draws, 8 losses. 62 points in 36 games. Fantastic. Their form at the moment, 4 wins on the trot. Just trotting on to 4 wins. Beating Peterborough 3-0. Absolutely dominating teams left, right and centre. They are an unstoppable team. They're a brilliant team, Huddersfield. And no team can look. We haven't even played Huddersfield yet the second time. Huddersfield Town. What they had last season was they had a good season. To be fair, they had a decent season for them. They finished. No, they had a terrible season. They finished 20th on 49 points, 6 points off relegation. If they lost 2 games, they would have got. They lost 3 games, 3 more games, they would have got relegated. They've got more points now they have way more points now than they did last season. And when the whole season was ended, they have way more points now. There's still 10 games left in the season. You know, Huddersfield could be one of my playoff teams. And you'll have to see at the end of the video, I'll be doing my my playoffs. I won't do like 7th and 8th and that. I'll do my top 6. But Huddersfield Town are absolutely sensational. And what they're doing this season is something that we don't really expect. You know, last season they were poor. 20th is something that you would never really want. 20th, you know, 6 points off relegation, and now they're fighting for promotion. It's fantastic. Moving on to 3rd, and there's Bournemouth, and they have 4 games in hand on Huddersfield, and they're 1 point off Huddersfield, so they'll probably be 2nd. But Bournemouth, you know, they had a decent last season. They finished 6th, went into the playoffs against Brentford, and won the first game. I think they won the first game, but then lost the second game, and they didn't get promoted. But what they've done this season is they do have a never attitude, and it's a good thing to have. They have 18 wins, 7 draws, 7 losses, 61 points in 32 games. It is something quite remarkable. Got 2 games in hand on Fulham, 4 games in hand on Huddersfield, 3 games in hand on Blackburn, who are 4th, same as QPR. Bournemouth, you know, if they win those 4 games in hand on Huddersfield, they could go 11 points clear of Huddersfield, and Huddersfield, to be fair, could be finishing 3rd. Bournemouth are a shout for 2nd. I'm not going to say they are if I got them 2nd, but they are a proper team, Bournemouth, and they've got a good manager in Scott Parker. They've got never attitude, which always helps, and they are a quality side, and they're brilliant. Bournemouth are brilliant, and let's see how well they can do. Who knows? They're a proper good side, Bournemouth, and you need to watch out for them. You can't be like they're not a rival team. They're 3rd, and they're probably getting 2nd. But yeah, moving on to our 4th, and that's Blackburn Rovers. They've dropped off a little bit. 3 losses in the last 5. And played 35 games, 16 wins, 9 draws, 10 losses. 57 points in 35 games, which is underrated. It's a good point tally to have. The 57 points in 35 games is brilliant. And the Blackburn Rovers, you know, they're missing their main man, aren't they? 2nd in the goal scoring charts, Ben Brereton Diaz. He is a bagsman from Chile, and he is a quality player, and they do need someone like him, and now he's injured as well, so that doesn't help Blackburn. But when they got Ben Brereton Diaz, Dak back, I think he's back already, but when they have their full team, they are a good side, and usually they drop off. They ended 15th last season, which was nothing but disgraceful for that calibre of team. It's disgraceful, and Tony Mowbray has done a good job. Usually they have a good first half, have a terrible second half. They had a brilliant first half, but they're dropping off a little bit. Could they be knocked out of playoffs? You know, they're only 3 points off 7th, so they're 4th. 7th is 3 points behind them. Could Blackburn, you know, you were writing them out. You're saying they're definitely getting playoffs. They could be getting knocked out of playoffs, which would be a terrible, terrible thing for their team. But yeah, moving on to 5th, and that is QPR. People saying they're the dark horse. They are a very good side, QPR. Can't write that off. They are a very, very good side. Same as Blackburn, they're dropping off. 35 games, 56 points. It's just really good. It's a good tally to have. 16 wins, 8 losses, 11 draws. It's decent. They have a goal difference of 9. They just look a bit bang average now. They're not really picking up the points, not really doing well in the form table. In the last 5, they've got 4 points, which is quite poor, and especially their 5th. They need points, and they're not getting them. So QPR is a bit of a worry, but could they get playoffs? Could they be like a Blackburn and get knocked out of playoffs? Yeah, that's the question. Like those two teams, like, you know, possibly they could be getting dragged out of playoffs. Like Sheffield United and Luton, just rambling at their back. But yeah, moving on to 6th, the last playoff spot, which is Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough snuck in there today of the time of recording. And yeah, Middlesbrough, they look decent. They look alright. It's tough to say because it's currently sits 6th, 55 points in 34 games, which is really good. It's a good tally to have as well as QPR and Blackburn. They've won 16, drew 7 and lost 11. So, alright form, alright tally, alright form recently, 3 wins, and that's 5, which is quite good to be fair, 9. They got a win against Luton Town today, which was massive for them. But, yeah, Middlesbrough, they look alright, you know. They could easily get playoffs if they just keep winning, but they could be a team that dropped out. They were 6th a few weeks ago and they got dropped down to like 7th or 8th because of a loss. So they need to keep their winning mentality up. Moving on to 7th, a team trying to get playoffs, which is Sheffield United. From where they started this season, they were poor this season, but they've started to gain more confidence, grow into the season, and they look like a real side now. They look like a real scary side. It's tough. It's tough. Can Sheffield United get playoffs? Not too sure. You know, the 7th, they're chasing the likes of Blackburn, QPR, Middlesbrough. A win will do that, and they're playing Middlesbrough Tuesday, which is massive. Hopefully this video will be uploaded Monday or Sunday, maybe tomorrow even. But Sheffield United, they look like a team. The likes of Billy Sharp is looking sharp. So I did that. But yeah, Billy Sharp is decent. But yeah, for me, Sheffield United could be in there. You'll see in my prediction. But yeah, moving on to 8th, and that's Luton Town. You know, 34 games, 15 wins, 9 draws, 10 losses, 54 points, same as Sheffield United. Luton could have got playoffs. They could have been in 6th place if they'd beaten Middlesbrough today. Spoiler alert, they didn't. No, actually, Luton would have gone 5th. That's mad. Luton Town would have gone 5th if they won against Middlesbrough. They didn't. But yeah, no, Middlesbrough. Luton Town. You know, 3-2 loss to Chelsea on midweek, which was really good for Luton. They played well against Chelsea. And then that loss against Middlesbrough today was a bit poor. But, you know, Luton playing us on Tuesday. So if we beat Luton on Tuesday, we go level on points with them. That's massive. And if we win about 3-0, which we probably won't, but if we do, we can go ahead of Luton Town. Massive. But yeah, Luton Town, could they get playoffs? You'll see my prediction. But you know, Luton, they look like a decent team. They've got some good players, and let's see. Moving on to 9th, and I'm surprised I'm saying Nottingham Forest. The way they started this season was horrendous, absolutely appalling. But the way they moved, the way they've come back with Steve Cooper at the wheel, they have been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, and you know they picked up so many points. They were in playoff positions a few weeks ago. I've dropped out a little bit, but they're only 3 points off. A draw against Sheffield United was a good draw, so they're getting points. But no, they need to start winning games. You know they've they drew 3 in the last 5 and won 2. So they haven't lost in the last 5, which is brilliant for them. They're 9 points in the last 5. 52 points in 34 games, 14 wins, 10 losses and 10 draws. 40 a goal difference of 12. They look decent, Nottingham Forest. They got some Samba. He plays for Forest. Samba's a good player. Lolly's a good player as well. But yeah, moving on to 10th, and it's Millwall. 52 points, same as Nottingham Forest. They climbed into 10th after winning against Reading today and Coventry losing to Swansea. But that's a good result for Millwall. They look like a good side, Millwall. They've won their last 5. Jesus, that's 15 points. They're unbeaten in 5. That is mad. Unbeaten in 5. Jesus. Millwall look like a team, and it's gonna be scary to play them. We don't have to play them though. We don't have to play them because we played them twice. But yeah, like they do look like a real team. Millwall, and they are a very good side. 5 wins in the last 5. We didn't have to play them because we played them twice. Come on, but. They go on this run, they could get playoffs. Moving on to 11th, and that is my team, Sky Blue Army. We've been trash. We've been absolutely terrible. 7 points in the last 5. 34 games, 51 points, which is brilliant. We've already beaten last season's tally. In 34 games. Last season we had 50. Oh, we have 55. Oh, well. Yeah, we have 55. We're only 4 points off our tally from last season, and we've played a lot less games. We played 12 less games. The only problem I have with Cov is inconsistent. That 3-1 loss to Swansea today was horrible. Tell by my reaction, it was horrible. I cannot believe that we lost 3-1 to Swansea City. But it is what it is. With losing that, Millwall gain on us. Forest, luckily they drew. Luton, luckily lost. So we have teams. The results went our way. Luckily, we could have been way behind. If Luton won, they would be on 57. We'd be 6 points off the playoffs. No, we wouldn't actually. No, we wouldn't. But it would be like 5 points off, which is hard to get back. So, luckily, results went our way. We've got to take that on the chin and beat Luton on Tuesday. Moving on to 12th, which was Preston North End. I'm surprised I'm saying them in this video, to be fair. They usually end 15th, 16th. They're doing a decent season. Unlike Coventry, inconsistency. They're poor side, to be fair. I don't know how they're 12th. They're top half of the table. But, 50 points, half of 100 in 36 games. Not too bad for Preston. Not too bad. But, Preston, are they going to get playoffs? To be fair, they will drop. They'll probably drop down. West Brom, maybe Blackpool will go ahead of them. Never write off Preston. They're 1 point off us. Don't write them off. But they've got 14. They've got 12 wins, 14 draws, and 10 losses. They're a bit of a draw specialist. 40 goals got scored, 40 goals conceded. That's a goal difference of 0 and 50. They're doing decent. Moving on to 13th, and that is somehow I'm saying this. West Brom Albion. Do I think they'll get playoffs? At the moment, no. They're having a terrible season. Did they win today? Then they beat Hull City. I think that's their first win under Steve Bruce against Hull City 2-0. It's a good result, to be fair. But West Brom have been dreadful. You can tell by their form. 3 losses in the last 5. 3 in a row. 3 losses in a row. Draw, loss, win. Poor from West Brom. They were high in playoffs, and now they're lower half of the season, lower half of the table is dreadful. From West Brom, they look poor, lethargic. Don't have to put the ball in the bloody back of the net, mate. They've been dreadful all season. But yeah, they could make up. They could go ahead of Preston, possibly Cardiff. But yeah, moving on to the last team we're going to talk about this video. And then I'm going to do my playoff predictions. But 14th is Blackpool. No, I don't know why I'm adding them into the video there. About, to be fair, they're only 7 points off, which is going to be hard. But Blackpool aren't even looking at playoffs at the moment. They're just looking at the same mid-table. And they've done going back to the Championship for the first time in a while. And they've done well. 14th is brilliant. 48 points in 35 games. Brilliant. Goal difference of 0. Brilliant. 13 wins, 9 draws and 13 losses. Not bad for Blackpool. They've got decent manager, decent players. Jerry Yates and Gary Medine is actually a decent striking partnership. And they beat someone today. They beat Stoke City today. They went more ahead of Stoke City. So that's massive. But yeah, should we get into my playoff predictions? Oh, first place is Fulham Football Club. I've already said when I went over Fulham, they are a brilliant side. Alexandra Mitrovic will be a brilliant player. He's a brilliant player. And let's see who. It's going to be interesting. He's a brilliant player. And Fulham looking good. Moving on to second place, and that is Bournemouth. The South Coast team, those are the two automatics. I think Fulham and Bournemouth will go up. That's the easy choice. That is pretty easy, to be fair. But now it gets to the tough bit. Bournemouth and Fulham both going up. Congrats, lads. I think you will. You should, to be fair. But yeah, I think Bournemouth and Fulham will both be going up. In third place, Huddersfield Town. Yes, I have got the Huddersfield Town in third place. Playoff team. Brilliant season for Huddersfield Town. Do I think they will get playoffs? I might actually do that. I might do my very early playoff. If those teams are playoffs, who I think will win. But yeah, Huddersfield Town for me in third. You'll see at the end of the video who I think will go up with Bournemouth and Fulham. But yeah, Huddersfield Town, decent side. Moving on to fourth, and this is a tricky one. I've gone for Blackburn Rovers. Yes, I've gone for the Blackburn Rovers. I think they will stick fourth. They could go fifth, to be fair, but I think they just have enough quality just to get over the line. It's pretty easy, to be fair, but I think they have enough just to go over the line. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm not too sure. They might not even make it. But yeah, first place for me is Blackburn. Fourth place is Blackburn Rovers. In fifth, I've got Middlesbrough. QPR will drop out of fifth. I think Middlesbrough have enough in the tank. 1 point off QPR. You'll see my sixth. I don't have QPR in my playoffs. I'll hold my hands up. We're going to look back on this video at my playoffs. Probably be a quick one there. But yeah, if I get that right, then I'm just not really a genius because it's going to be a close one. But yeah, for me, Blackburn, I think Middlesbrough will be fifth. In sixth is really, because I said QPR won't do it. It's between Sheffield United, Luton, and possibly Nottingham Forest. In sixth, I've got Coventry City. I'm joking. I've gone for Sheffield United. Coventry City, I repeat, will finish 9th. No, 12th. I think we'll finish 12th, which is a good season for us. But yeah, if I get that right, I'm just a genius. But yeah, in sixth, I've got Sheffield United. So in my playoffs, Sheffield United, very good side. In my playoffs, Huddersfield Town, Blackburn Rovers, Middlesbrough, and Sheffield United. Who I think will get promoted with Fulham and Bournemouth? I've gone for, drum rolls please, all you fans who support those teams. Who do you think I'm going to say? No, I already said Bournemouth, haven't I? Middlesbrough. I think Middlesbrough will go under it. No. Blackburn Rovers. Aha, I've tricked all the Middlesbrough fans. You beat us, you deserve it. Blackburn Rovers, for me, will get promoted with Bournemouth and Fulham. So on the screen will be the 3 teams who I think will qualify, who will get to the Premier League. In first, Fulham. Second, Bournemouth. And in the playoffs, Blackburn Rovers. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is just a fun video, but dissecting the playoffs, and those are the teams who I think will qualify. The teams who I think will be in the playoffs: Huddersfield Town, Blackburn, Middlesbrough, and Sheffield United. The winner of that I think will be Blackburn Rovers. But yeah, see you guys later. Peace out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. See you. Bye.